Good morning, 8th graders. So this is our final choose 3 option, for Gizmos at least, of observing weather and metrics. So again, I am just in my Gizmo thing. You're observing. I don't know why there's 2 in here. Can I get rid of one? Remove from class. Okay, so observing weather metric. Okay, I'm just going to launch it and throw it into full screen so that you can see what is up. Okay, so this is more of what we see nowadays. So if you chose the weather map one, that was more old school, sort of like meteorology sort of a thing, and now this is more new school. So before we get going on any of that, though, we need to go through our prior knowledge questions. So if you were describing the weather to someone, what kinds of things would you talk about? So what are some of the things that you would talk about? Maybe you're talking about air temperature. Okay, I know up here, if we were describing weather in winter, we would be discussing wind chill. Maybe we're talking about cloud coverage. Okay, I'm gonna scooch this down here so you can see, like, this is what I'm doing while we're doing this. So cloud coverage, maybe we're talking about wind and speed, things like that. So you tell me more, okay? So you need to add more or less, I guess. Okay, what do you talk about? What do you care about when it comes to weather? What instruments can you use to gather this information? Well, we've talked about all of these. So maybe it is a thermometer. Thermometer. Okay. That's probably the biggest one that we rely on. But what are some other things? So again, tell me more. Okay, so for the Gizmo warm-up, Earth is surrounded by a blanket of air called the atmosphere. The weather is the state of the atmosphere at a given time and place. In the Observing Weather Metric Gizmo, you will record and compare weather conditions in several locations. To begin, check that New York is selected on the world map. Check that the date is January 1st and click Observe Weather and select metric units. So I'm going to go back up here to this. Okay, so we need to make sure that New York is selected. So New York is blue compared to every other city right now. It is on January 1st. We need to select Observe Weather. So welcome to New York. Okay, now let me just make sure I am doing everything I need to. New York. January 1st, observe weather. Now click play and observe for 1 day. So it is 12 a.m. So when it says 12 a.m. again, then we need to pause it. Okay, so what's going on? Finally, the sun's come out. Oh, rain. Okay. Snow, because why not? Okay, clears up later in the evening, and there we go. So, click on an instrument to make a measurement. Well, let's see what it asks us to do. What type of weather did you see? Now, I left you a very small line. I am so sorry about that. Okay, but what type of weather did you see? We saw rain, we saw snow, we saw clear skies. So, you choose rain, snow, clear. Okay. Based on the weather, do you think the day was hot or cold? Well, we saw snow. I hope you can figure that out. So I'm going to say cold. So click the thermometer and it gives you a picture of it right here. It's itty bitty, but essentially when you're clicking thermometer, it's this tool here. So click on thermometer to measure the temperature or how hot or cold it was. the temperature is measured in degrees Celsius, water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius and boils at 100 degrees Celsius. If the temperature is below 0, use a negative, like negative 8 degrees Celsius. So what is the temperature at 11:59 p.m.? At 11:59 p.m., we're looking at, call it -1. Okay, so I'm going to come up here and I am going to place -1. I'm going to also write it on my page. Okay, using both is going to be important for this one because then you can click things like wind speed. Right now it's 0 kilometers per hour. The wind direction, there is nothing because it's 0. Precipitation, you would look here, and I'm looking at 22 millimeters. And then the percent humidity is going to be here. Oh, look, it dumped it out for me because I already recorded percent humidity is at 78%. Okay, so notes you can add in here. It snowed, it rained, there were clear skies at one point in time. Okay, it was a wonky sort of a day. Okay, fantastic. So that is what you're going to do. Now, did you have to add all of this right now? No, but it's good to start getting the practice because you'll need it for the rest of it. So again, slightly longer. Okay, this one I have no excuse other than it's all really good information that you really should know. Okay, it's comparing a bunch of different sites, what's going on, things like that. Make sure that when you move on to the next activity that you are making sure that you reset everything. So I'm going to sit here, I'm going to hit reset quick, and it kept my data from that day. Okay, that you might want to clear your page, so on. Okay, so make sure you follow through with everything. So check that the selected location is New York, and it is, so I'm going to go back here, New York, it's January 1st. Okay, so fantastic. If you have any questions, please let your teachers know, and we're here for you. Awesome. Thank you, 8th graders.